Please welcome your host for the Financial Mail Top Analyst Awards 2024, Nastasia Arendse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 48th Financial Mail Top Analyst Awards for 2024 in partnership with IRESS and the JSE. And of course, welcome to those of you who are watching us online. It's really great to have such a full room, and I'm sure many of you are excited in terms of the winners that we are going to be announcing tonight. So tonight's winners are determined by the Financial Mail's Ranking the Analysts survey. So this survey is conducted by Krutham, and it's estimated to cover more than 90% of the market, and it evaluates analysts and firms across 40 research categories. In a little bit, we're going to be hearing from the chairman of Krutham, who's going to be explaining to us the methodology as well as the process behind the awards. Please note that the Financial Mail Ranking the Analyst supplement will be available on Thursday, that is July 11th, for those of you who want a little bit more information on it and actually just to see some of the different categories that we have. In terms of housekeeping, please note that the restrooms are outside close to the little coffee stand that you would have noticed. For those of you who would want a smoke break in between, that is outside to my right. And if you do get a little lost, there are people around to help you just in case you are looking for that smoke break. So we're now going to get the show on the road, and to give us one of the welcomings that we're going to be getting for the evening, we're actually going to have a few words from the Financial Mail editor, Mark Hassen first. So let's hear what he had to say.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Financial Mail, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you all, that being those in the room and those joining us virtually to this most auspicious event. Unfortunately, as you can probably see from my very pale visage and my kind of croaky voice, I'm very much under the weather. So I apologize profusely for not being at the event in person. But then again, frankly, I think the Joburg freeze would have probably killed me off. Although having said that, we've had quite a deluge here in Cape Town this morning, truly of frightening proportions. The Financial Mail has, I think, always had a great relationship with the analyst community. And judging by the number of inquiries I got about the Top Analysts event in the preceding weeks, I've got to say this remains a most anticipated event. We at the FM are very proud and very, very enthusiastic partners in this authoritative annual event. And in that regard, I'd like to thank Colin Anthony and Stuart Theobald from Krutham for sticking with us through thick and thin. I would also like to thank IRESS and the JSE for partnering with the Financial Mail and making these awards possible. I believe, but don't quote me, that there are sneak peeks of all the top analyst rankings after the event for the guests present. The supplement will have its official release this week in this scintillating copy of the FM on Thursday. But please enjoy the evening with us, and I apologize again for not being there. I really would have liked to be enjoying your company. But we'll see each other soon again, and good luck to everyone. Cheerio.
Thank you so much to Mark for those words. And I think on the back of what he mentioned about the weather, it is freezing outside, and many of you could have been anywhere tonight, but you chose to be here. So thank you so much for joining us once again. Now that we've heard from Mark, we're going to hear from one of the other sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sean Nicholson, who is the CEO of IRESS South Africa.
Nastasia, and welcome everyone to the Financial Mail 2024 Top Analyst Awards. We're proud to be sponsors again of the awards this year alongside the JSE, and a special thank you to Valdine, Voyo and team for hosting us here this evening. Another special mention to the Financial Mail as well as to Krutham for the sustained effort that they have placed in creating these awards that have become institutionalized in the way they recognize our investment analysts and the critical role that they play in the South African financial markets industry. This is a key event on our calendar. Key in that market data is a really important part of our business in South Africa, alongside three other segments in which we focus, the second of which is trading, which obviously goes hand in hand with market data. There we provide solutions to a combination of institutional brokers, but also to the retail brokers or traditional stockbroking players. We then span across to investment management, where we provide portfolio management capability to your stockbrokers, but also onto the buy side to your asset managers, your discretionary fund managers, and then your more traditional private wealth or wealth management players. And last but not least is the advice space, where we provide advice tech to not only the bigger networks, advice networks, but also to your smaller IFAs. We pride ourselves in that we stand alone in the breadth of solutions that we provide to South African financial markets or services, but globally as well. I mentioned last year an exciting journey that we're on in terms of our strategy, which starts off with autonomy. We're on a journey of increased independence and relevance in South Africa, where we've got, additional masters of our own destiny status. The second is to regain our position as strategic provider of choice, technology provider of choice to our clients. And last but not least is to use that as a platform to build and realize our true potential in terms of growth aspirations in South Africa. This is all underpinned by, this is all underpinned by our recognition that we need to be a local player. Although we have global capability, best evidenced by our market data coverage and the number of instruments that we cover, both listed and non-listed across the global markets. We believe that being local in terms of the capability that we provide, but also our service, is a key differentiator. We've made good strides in this regard, but there's definitely some additional work to be done. But without further ado, good luck to all the analysts that are participating in the awards this evening and the companies that they represent, and we hope that you enjoy your evening with us. Thank you.
Thank you to Sean. And those of you who've just walked in, we do have a couple of empty spots. So just so that you don't stand for too long, and I suppose as more people walk in, we'll try and get more chairs. So if you can just come and help us fill up the room, don't be shy. I promise I'm not going to put you in a spot at any point in the evening. So if we can just have a couple of people just come fill up, we'll see how that goes. I'll try and push you closer. Let's see if I can change your mind. But nonetheless, we're going to welcome the next speaker, who is one of our sponsors. And without them, and of course, thank you to IRESS, we wouldn't have the awards tonight. So thank you to this particular partner for helping us make these awards possible. Please welcome the Director for Capital Markets at the JSE, Valdine Reddy.
Evening, everyone, and it is really awesome to see familiar faces and new faces. So certainly 48 years of Financial Mail Awards, Top Analyst Awards is quite impressive. I just counted, this is my 20th Financial Mail Analyst Awards in the industry, and great to have been half of that on the sell side, and definitely no pressure now on the other side as a sponsor is much better for tonight. And I look across the room and to many faces, you guys are probably 30, probably some of you guys are 35. I don't know, Adam, maybe longer than that. So a good chunk of at least 3 to 4 decades of that 48 years remain in the room with a lot of new faces. So it speaks to me, you know, I think about the awards and how the event has changed, a lot more casual tonight, but same sentiment. But it really is an honor for me to say, despite the challenges that we've faced in markets last 50 years, or probably the last 5 weeks, the market remains resilient to have a whole host of well-serviced participants here of the top caliber, really making our capital markets stronger and an appealing place. So welcome to the JSE, and congratulations to all the nominations and the winners tonight of the FM Awards for the Top Analyst Awards 2024. So it really is an honor for me to be standing here 2 decades later and celebrating all of you guys and the contribution that you make to the SA financial markets. So it really is an exciting time. I know I chatted to a few of you guys, and maybe a little bit of disappointment that the market hasn't reacted yet. I say yet because I speak with optimism to what is coming out of really a precipice of change in South Africa and top down. And never in my 20 years have I felt more aligned to basically the direction of the markets really taking its cue from a top down of what's needed at a country level. So I stand with optimism that we've got dramatic pace of change with the government of national unity. And while it really is a test for us in the execution phase, I think it's a foundational base that is better than what we could have expected, and hopefully more business friendly. So I know in engaging with many of you guys, seeing the flow, seeing the activity, there's still a level of conviction that needs to come through in terms of how investors, local and foreign, will invest into our markets. But I really feel it's this ecosystem in this room tonight that will help drive the selling points of South Africa, and then also roll up your sleeves to the points where we think we can lean in to change the markets. I sit with Stuart, and I think we hypothesize many changes for what we could do to drive capital markets. And it's not for just the benefit of the JSE, but it's benefit of the ecosystem and for investment into South Africa, which will be through the equities, debt, or other markets in South Africa. So I look forward to working alongside you guys to drive some of that change, and I think that it really is a catalyst and an opportunity at the moment for us to unlock markets that probably have not been at their full potential, markets that you guys have endured, but pushed on through and stand here tonight as recipients of good sentiment and good recognition of the work that you've done. As mentioned, as one of just the stakeholders in this ecosystem, it really has stimulated me to do something that's my passion, which is financial markets, and my purpose, which is my country. And I don't take any of the inputs that you guys do lightly. So I look at some of the initiatives that the JSE has done and look at some of the problems that you guys have faced. And I really hope that even though we haven't yet solved the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, if I look around, I think the collective efforts of trying to channel flows into the markets have been very meaningful. So things that we've done on the listings reforms has been, in the absence of a capital raise framework of IPOs, what more can we all collectively do internally, despite the macro, to right-size our market? So the JSE has looked at a whole host, with your contribution, of listings reforms to try and get more listings. We hear the problem about liquidity. We hear the problems about shrinking markets. We know South Africa's weighting is now 3% or sub in global indices. But I think if I look around the room, from the way that we've positioned our marketplace, the capital markets being top 20 in the world, companies that have grown up on the JSE and have grown into global majors, local and foreign brokers that still serve well established in our market and well connected to the global ecosystem. I stand here proud to say we have the right vested interest and the right caliber to get us going, and I look forward to how we improve access, products, positioning South Africa, and really working together to get capital flows into markets so that we can all thrive and have 2 tables of awards next year or the year after. So I really would like to say, as a JSE, we affirm our commitment to continuing to working alongside each of you guys, really with open doors. I don't think anyone's an island unto their own. This ecosystem is so closely connected, and our benefit is your benefit, and your benefit is ours. So I really look forward to working together as an industry, as a marketplace, and really positioning South Africa stronger. May the tides turn for all of us in the next couple of years. And really, one of the things I would leave you with as a challenge is, as we continue to drive South Africa forward, never underestimate the power of the South African capital markets, and in particular the equities market in this room. It stands top caliber in the world. And I look forward to the collective efforts that we do to either sell South Africa as the attractive destination, the reputable, the safe, the trusted, the integrity regulations that we have, transparency, price formation. I know we all complain about the tough markets, but there's so many benefits of South Africa that I'd like us to focus on. And each of those is what you support to get these wonderful awards today. So really proud of each of you guys. Congratulations to the winners. Keep it going, and I look forward to a much happier, much more buoyant, much more successful event next year as your efforts get recognized. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Valdine Reddy, who is the Director of Capital Markets here at the JSE. We're now going to be hearing from the Chairman of Krutham, who will explain the methodology and research process behind the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stuart Theobald.
Thank you, Natasha. Good evening. It's really good to be with you in person this year. It's been a few years since I've been able to do that. It is a great honor for Krutham to be entrusted with this research and to be trusted by the industry to perform it. It's now the 11th year we've done that, which is pretty astounding to me because it feels like only yesterday that we took over the awards, which with much trepidation, knowing how important they are for the industry. I'm going to go through some of the figures that indicate how the research worked this year. To my mind, this remains clearly the most comprehensive assessment of SA market coverage. We still get considerable participation from the large domestic asset managers. Altogether, we had 27 sell-side firms that were considered as part of the research. That's down from 30 last year. And we had 49 buy-side firms voting in the survey from 50 last year. As previously, there were 40 categories assessed. Most of those are equities categories, 6 non-research categories as well. The Top Small Black Broker is an award we introduced a few years ago as well to support transformation in the industry. And also to support growth and development in the industry, we have the Young Analyst Awards coming in again this year. There were 214 analysts and teams put forward by the sell-side firms in total that were considered by the respondents to the survey. There were 344 nominees getting at least one vote. So you can see that the sell side put forward their own names in addition to those that are supplied by the sell side industry. And that's quite an important feature of the way we do the research. I can tell you that there were 9 firms that had at least one analyst ranked first in a sector. I'm sure that will get your minds ticking. The firm with the most number 1 positions out of those 40 categories was in 17 of them. That's a slight change from last year when the number was 16. There are 16 new number 1s out of 40 categories that you're going to be hearing about tonight. Hopefully that will get your appetite wet. The methodology, I'm sure you will all be very familiar with. It has not changed materially for the last few years. Sell-side firms give their votes. They have the option of submitting their own names. They don't necessarily have to vote only for those that are pre-populated in the survey. They give votes for both individual analysts, but also for firms. And that's often missed when I talk to analysts about how this methodology works. These are quite independent votes, and it's the votes for the firms that lead to the rankings for the overall team for research. So that consolidates votes in each of the categories. It weights those categories. So we weight the equity categories according to market cap, and we weight the non-equity categories according to the feedback the firms give us on what is most important to them. Equities is 70% of those categories, and 30% is non-equities. And we use Swick's market cap as at the end of the previous year to weight the different equities research categories. The Young Analyst Award is back We didn't make an award last year. The judges felt that there were insufficient submissions. I'm really glad to say that that has not been the case this year. We had 21 submissions from 20 different analysts. In part, that is because we changed the rules. It used to be that you had to be under 30. We've changed that to under 35. I could tell you that that now lines us with the ANC Youth League membership criteria. A special thanks to the CFA Society SA who take on the task of judging. That requires reading in detail 21 reports. It is a lot of work. And you can see the judges this year: Shameen, Caroline, Lungile, Ruan, Nadim, George, and Audrey. Many hands make light work, and thank you very much for their efforts. Just to give you a little bit of insight into the sector weightings, there were some shifts that happened. Some of the big increases in weighting on luxury goods. We saw insurance coming up, general retailers, gold mining, investment companies. Ones that fell in the weightings: industrial metals, platinum, general financial, beverages, quantitative analysis as one of the non-equities in there as well. You can see what the 5 biggest equity sectors were. We cap the total size at 7% in the 40 categories in terms of weighting of different sectors. So general retailers, banks, and media hit that cap. Then it was general mining and gold mining. On the non-equity sectors, you can see their investment strategy, economic analysis, commodities, and then financial and industrial small and medium market caps. Just some findings that we pick up in the research. We always ask some questions of the industry about particular themes that we think are interesting. One we've been tracking for a while is, what do you feel about paying for research? We know, going back to the MiFID debate, separation of research payments. And you can see how this has changed over the year. So in the latest survey, 86% of respondents said that their firm does not, or their firm has an explicit policy as a distinct line item. We also asked, if research is paid for separately, do you expense it to the firm, or is it included in fund management fees charged to clients? And you can see how that has changed over the years. So 58% is ending up in clients and 42% in firm P&L. Most valued research, we asked them overall to tell us which research areas, categories are most important to them. You can see that it's medium size and large size in-depth analysis of companies that tops those ranks. This year, economic research in South Africa was quite highly ranked. That did move up from last year. And you can see the rest of those categories as well coming through there. We also ask about corporate access. What do firms believe who should pay for arranging corporate access? And you can see there 88% saying it should be covered by the brokerage. Sorry for you guys. A nice friendly 7% saying there just should be no fee. Nobody saying it should not be provided at all. And then a very small 5% saying that they are willing to pay for it through specific fees. So there you go. You're expected to just provide all of this for clients with no remuneration expected. Now, I get up to say things, but there's a big team that does the work. You can see the Krutham team there with us tonight. Heidi Dietz, who runs the online survey, but our data analyst team do a lot of work and long hours into crunching the numbers to produce your results. The Financial Mail is also an important partner to us. We run any conceptual issues we're thinking through around how the survey works, talk them through with Mark, and then Peter, Colleen, and Chris are key in making the event and publication happen. Thank you also very much to the JSE and IRESS as sponsors of the event, are critical, and very pleased to be working with them. That's our feedback for email. Send us whatever you think, compliments, complaints, we'll take it all. Any suggestions you have on how this could be made more valuable to you, please do send them in. It's only by engaging and talking to the industry that we keep these awards relevant and the methodology appropriate to the issues that you are wanting to focus on. Finally, a commercial message. You get to see the high-level results, the tip of the iceberg tonight and in the publication on Thursday, but we gather a huge amount of data and we can package that into reports for you if you commission them, and you will know the value of research that is paid for. So there you go. You'll be hearing more about that as well. Good luck tonight, and please do give me, catch me when you can if you have any feedback you would like to share immediately after the event. We'll see you then.
Thank you to Stuart for explaining the methodology and research process. So I'm going to say it right from the beginning. Let me just walk away from that mic because of that feedback coming through. So right from the beginning, for the winners who are going to be announced tonight, can I please ask that you remain behind for the end of the awards? And that's because there is a group picture that we take every year, and we really want you to be part of that picture. So I'm going to keep doing this reminder every now and again, but I just thought that I would let you know now. So now we're going to start with the Young Analyst Awards. And to talk us through the process and announce the finalists and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President at CFA Society South Africa, Thato Mashig.
Thank you, Nastasia, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my honor to discuss the Young Analyst Awards with you on behalf of CFA Society South Africa. But firstly, I think a word of thanks to all the firms that have put this impressive evening together. As Valdine mentioned earlier, almost 50 years, and I think if we consider the JSC, IRESS, Krutham, and all partners that were involved. I think Financial Mail, of course, it really is a tremendous contribution to our capital markets in South Africa. So just a word on why we as CFA Society South Africa decided to initiate the Young Analyst Awards. If one had to consider the origins of the CFA designation, one would have to go back all the way to 1955, even before the onset of the Financial Analyst Awards. Back then, Ben Graham, who I'm sure all of you know, published a paper where he compared financial analysis to the medical field. In fact, he made a comparison or suggested, implying that analysts are similar to doctors in a sense, and the way a doctor uses their skill to assess, diagnose, and cure a patient, so should an analyst use their skill to enhance value for the clients in which they are entrusted. Ben Graham obviously grew up during the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties as they were known, but if one looks beyond, I suppose, the perception of the decade, one finds a lot of poor issuer disclosure, a lot of market manipulation, and very esoteric valuation methods. This was long before DCF was a very well-worn acronym. And so that is the origins of why the designation CFO was created, so that competent analysis can enter into the industry. And I think the same spirit applies when one considers the Top Analyst Awards from the Financial Mail. It's been 10 years since this award has been initiated, and it is perhaps fair to say that in the 10 years, the task has become somewhat more difficult for young analysts as it was a decade ago. Back then, passives were only beginning to challenge the dominance of active investing. Back then, the delisting trend was still only beginning to accelerate. And of course, the name of SA Inc. Was still very highly cherished by global investors, as we had yet to see the full severity of the spate of corporate scandals that have since ensued. Young analysts today, I think it's fair to say, are swimming somewhat in the deep end, and we can all commend them on the efforts which they go through on a day-to-day basis. So just some findings from this year's reports. Stuart did mention in some detail the judges who took upon themselves to judge these events, and I think we can all commend their efforts to do so. The judges, of course, would not have known the names nor the firms of the analysts, so these were obviously withheld from them. And the age limit, of course, did result in a significant increase in reports to 21 reports from 20 different analysts. Perhaps we are now more aligned with the country definition of youth, as Stuart alluded to. But if one looks at Warren Buffett, who continues to analyze companies well into his 90s, then I think it's more than fair to say that a 35-year-old is still a young analyst. Some of the comments that the judges made on the submissions, one being a variety or a plethora of valuation methods were indeed utilized, from discount methods to relative multiples to EVA methodologies, and so this was obviously good to see. We also saw very thorough industry and business analysis. It was clear that the analysts had a good sense of the companies that they were analyzing, and this, of course, gives confidence to the valuations and the conclusions which they did draw upon. The investment cases overall were well constructed, and again, this does suggest a soundness and an understanding of the various drivers and risks involved in the companies. Some room for improvement. It was mentioned that sensitivity analysis and scenario analysis could be more fully utilized, just to get a better sense of future potential outcomes and fully quantifying some of the risks and opportunities that lie within the investment cases. And also formatting. There could be an improvement on the visual display and the use of visual aids within the presentations. We do know that, of course, being analysts, the content is number one, but the presentation as well does help to brighten up the day of clients who have to go through pages and pages of information. And so with all of that being said, to announce the winner, I believe I should be announcing the winners. I hope I'm not jumping the gun. So yes, in terms of the winners, firstly, a big thank you to everyone who did submit a report. The standard of the reports was of course, very high, and I think the additional 5 years experience also lends some credence to this from the submitters this year. There was quite a narrow scoring range. I think that's also important to note. So it is not as though there were significant outliers between the highest and lowest scoring reports. The top three nominees in alphabetical order this year were Mpumelelo Mthembu from ABSA CIB for a report on Kumba Iron Ore. Ntuthuko Sithole from Standard Bank Securities for a report on Omnia. And Tinashe Hofisi from Standard Bank Securities for a report on Sun International. And the winner of the 2024 Young Analyst Award is Tinashe Hofisi, Standard Bank Securities.
Congratulations to Tinashe, the first winner for tonight. And thank you so much to Tato. He did such a great job introducing the first winner. I might actually just let him co-host with me. Yes, no, maybe? You'll think about it? Okay, cool. Okay, great. So we are now going to be moving into our category winners. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at a message from one of our sponsors, IRESS.
Better. It's something we all strive for. At least to be better than we were yesterday. Whether that's better at staying healthy, managing our time, helping others, learning, problem solving, and even relaxing. At IRESS, we've always been determined to find a better way. It's been our aim since we began. When we saw a better way for brokers to trade the market, a better way for professionals to deliver advice to their clients, a better way for lenders to help home buyers, a better way for super funds to help their members. From people like this guy, to these guys, and her, and him, and them, and now them. In fact, all of us. In Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, Asia, and the UK. We've supported the biggest and brightest names in financial services, helping them transform and win, and will continue to aim for better, no matter what shape that takes. Because it's what we do, it's who we are, and it's what we believe in. Technology that helps people perform better every day.
So let's get the show on the road, and I'm going to mention it again for those of you who are sitting at the back, or standing at the back rather. If at any point in the evening you do get tired, there are empty spots here, and I promise I'm not going to pick on you as you creep in a little bit closer. Just trying to help you out because it's going to be a little bit of a long evening. And because we've got so many categories, we're now going to be going into what we call part 1 of the Top Analyst Awards. And I can't do this all by myself. So what I'm going to do now is ask Sean Nicholson from IRESS to help me hand over the awards. And he's not going to be alone. He's going to be assisted by Lyndon Barnes, who is the Managing Director for Strategic Partnerships at Arena. Gentlemen, if you can join me on stage. So we're now going to be getting into the first category, and this category looks at gold mining. And the nominees for the gold mining category, we're going to see them shortly on your screen. So those are the names of the nominees for this particular category. Are you guys ready for the winner? Okay. The winner for the, I love my assistant, they're also just excited as well. The winner for the gold mining category, ladies and gentlemen, is Adrian Hammond from Standard Bank SBG Securities. Let's get into the next category. This one looks at platinum and precious metals. And the finalists for this category, we'll see them shortly on your screen. Those are the finalists, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner is Adrian Hammond from Standard Bank SBG Securities. I'm laughing, ladies and gentlemen, because on stage, it's very interesting to hear the conversations that's happening next to me. But nonetheless, we're now going to move on to the next category, which is general mining. And the nominees for this category, so those are the names. And the winner for 2024 in the general mining category is Brian Morgan and Alain Gabriel from RMB Morgan Stanley. We're now going to move on into the next category, and this one is oil and gas and chemicals. And the finalists for this category, we'll see them on your screen. So those are the finalists for the oil and gas and chemicals. And the winner is Gerard Engelbrecht from Absa CIB. The winners so far. Let's move on to the next category, and this one looks at forestry and paper. And the finalists are so those are the finalists for this particular category. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Brian Morgan from RMB Morgan Stanley. Congratulations. So now we're going to move on to the next category, and this one is industrial metals. And the finalists are okay, let's see from those three names who the winner is. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Brian Morgan from RMB Morgan Stanley. The next category looks at resources, small and medium market cap companies. And the finalists are so those are the finalists for this particular category. And the winner is Tim Clark, Adrian Hammond, Mtutuko Sotole, and Nick Witten from Standard Bank SBG Securities. What's nice about these awards is that at some point, because they're different representatives here in different companies, I'm going to get a sense as to where Standard Bank is sitting, where RMB is sitting. So this is pretty good. Okay. So the next category is going to be looking at construction, building materials, and machinery. And the three finalists for this category are and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Rowan Gola from Chronix Research. Is Rowan here? Okay. We'll try and get the award to him. Perhaps he has stepped out. But congratulations nonetheless to Rowan, and we'll leave that award on the side. Okay, now we're we are going to be getting into the category that looks at banks. And the finalists for this category are those are the names. And the winner for this category is Charles Russell and Abonga Mvovo from Standard Bank SPG Securities. Because the background music is very interesting choice that you went with there. Okay, a little bit of Texas, a little Western, you know. So let's go into general financial. This is the next category. And the finalist for this one is okay, those are the names for this particular category, and the winner is, or winners, Harry Botha, Sven Thorson, and Keenan Chunu from Anchor Stockbrokers. Category looks at insurance, and the finalists are okay. Those are the finalists for the insurance category, and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Warwick Bam from RMB Morgan Stanley. A good night so far, right? Okay, so this one looks at beverages and tobacco. And the finalists in this category are, those are the three names. And the winner here is Ray William from Standard Bank SPG Securities. Let's look at the next category, and this one looks at the food producers. The finalists are those are the three names, and the winner here is Sumil Siraj from Standard Bank's SPG Securities. This category that you're going to see on your screen looks at healthcare providers and pharmaceuticals. And the finalists are those are your finalists. And the winner is Dr. Anuja Joshi from Standard Bank SPG Securities. congratulations to the winners so far. This one is a category I like personally, and it is luxury goods. Yes. And the finalists for this category are, those are the three names. And the winner is, do you want to know what the winner is? Ray William from Standard Bank SBG Securities. The next category looks at general retailers, and the finalists for this particular category, those are the finalists, and the winner is Yaesh Patel from Standard Bank SBG Securities. This one is focused on household goods retailers, and the finalists for this category are and the winner is Kayleen Brown and Yaesh Patel from Standard Bank SBG Securities. This category is hotels, travel, and leisure. And the finalists are and the winner for this category is Yaesh Patel and Tinashe Hofisi from Standard Bank SBG. We're now going to move on to diversified industrials. And the finalists for this category are and the winner for the diversified industrials category is Brent Maddell and Petron Poseidenhout from Absa CIB. Are you guys doing great there? Oh, I have to check, just to make sure. And that you're having fun. The next category looks at investment companies. And the finalists are the winner here is Ray William from Standard Bank SBG Securities. This category looks at computing and electronics, and the finalists are I wish I could do this thing where we could hold the names and you could just see, we can bet who do you think the winner is, but we'll leave it for another day. The winner for this category is Neil Fenter and Jono Bradley from Absa CIB. The next category looks at media. And the finalists in the media category are so those are the names. And the winner is Neil Fenter and Jono Bradley from Absa CIB. In the telecommunications category, the finalists are those are the finalists. And the winner is Neil Fenter and Jono Bradley from Absa CIB. Is that this is the third time they've walked on stage, right? One after the other. And they still shake hands with my assistants like it's the first time. I love the excitement. So let's move on to the financial and industrial small and medium market cap companies. The finalists are those are the finalists. And the winner for this category is Anthony Clark from Small Talk Daily Research. I don't believe that we have Anthony in the room, so we'll leave that award on the side for him to collect unless there is a representative. Yes? No? Okay. We'll leave the award on the side. This category looks at real estate. And the finalists are those are the finalists, and the winner is Francois Dutoy, Yesh Pillay, Luando Ngubentombi, and Craig Smith from Anchor Stockbrokers. Category looks at international non-equities, as you can see on your screen, and the finalists will appear shortly. I'm loving this music. Me and the sound, it's very, driving up a little bit of excitement here. And the winner is Andrea Messia from RMB Morgan Stanley. Congratulations. We now move on to international equities. And the finalists in this category are and the winner is Ian Doyle and Jamie Pegg from R&B Morgan Stanley. Congratulations once again to all the winners so far, and thank you so much to Sean and Barnes for Lyndon for helping me with this particular awards. Thank you so much. And we're now going to be moving to the next set of awards, but before we get to that, let's hear from another of our headline sponsors, and that is the JSE.
South Africa, one of the world's fastest growing and most diverse emerging markets. With world-class infrastructure, sophisticated financial services and a progressive constitution, it's a gateway to African markets and the ideal investment destination for global investors. For over 135 years, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has been a pillar of the South African economy, delivering an uninterrupted trading, clearing and settlement environment. Through our multifaceted business model, the JSE trades multiple asset classes and offers core issuer and investor services from listings to benchmarks and settlement. Operating in such a diverse economy gives JSE clients access to a broad range of issuers across industries through multiple asset classes. We support the ecosystem with innovations like virtual AGMs, industry training, and Share Hub. We also offer secure, efficient secondary capital markets across a diverse range of securities. Through the JSE co-location facilities, clients can host their infrastructure at the JSE and access high-speed, low-latency trading and market data. Clients can access live JSE market data through our London-based international access point, which facilitates connection from almost anywhere in the world. Our direct market access process allows clients to participate quickly and easily in the auction periods and continuous trading periods. The JSE's integrated trading and clearing capabilities deliver real-time clearing, allowing members to use cross-market trading strategies on a stable, functionally rich platform. And our world-class infrastructure technology systems safeguard operational resilience, especially in uncertain times. The JSE also offers a complex order suite that provides a secure, non-visible and regulated channel through which to execute big orders. This enables competitive trading strategies and improves the efficiency of filing large orders while minimizing impact. A variety of market data products is available to market professionals and data distributors, which includes live, non-live, end-of-day, and historical data. We have nearly 170 indices across a variety of methodologies and investment criteria. Our joint venture with FTSE Russell includes a range of world-class indices. Other available datasets include bond ETP data, tick data for most markets via the JSE Tick Data solution hosted by the CME Group, corporate actions, business intelligence reports, valuations data, and live data provision via our IAP. JSE Clear is the settlement authority for exchange-traded equities and the clearinghouse for the exchange-traded derivatives market. It clears and risk manages transactions in securities listed on the JSE. We have created an environment that enhances sustainability and disclosure, maintains the highest governance standards, and offers innovative products that allow investors and issuers to act on their sustainability needs. As a leading global exchange, we co-create, unlock value, and make real connections happen. JSE, let's connect.
Okay, before we move on to part two, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair to give the winners for part one a big round of applause. Congratulations. I'm excited about part 2, and the reason I'm excited is because as the night progresses, it's quite interesting to see who the winners are, whether we're going to see new faces or whether we're going to see the same people or the same companies come through. So that's going to be very interesting to look out for. And to help me with the next category of winners, or rather part 2, I'd like to welcome on stage Valdine Reddy from the JSE to assist. And because Tata did such a fantastic job, Tata Mashiko from CFA Society South Africa, please join me on stage. Okay, so let's look at part 2, and in this category we are looking at commodities. And the finalists are so those are the finalists. And the winner is Amy Sargent, Brian Morgan, and Chris Nicholson from RMB Morgan Stanley. I'm going to put him on the spot.
I thought you said you weren't going to put it.
But, you know, that's because you're not filling up the seats. I'm going to start picking on people. Where's Team RMB Morgan Stanley sitting? There. Can I get a... Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I was just wondering whether you're going to be carrying all of these awards by yourself or whether you've got hands. That's great to see, but that's what I wanted to ask, whether you're going to be carrying all of those by yourself or you actually have some help. So glad to see the RMB Morgan Stanley team with you. Thank you so much, and congratulations to your team. This category looks at innovative research, and the finalists are so those are the finalists. There's giggles already. It's almost like people are like, I know who's going to be taking this one. The winner here is Ray William, Yaish Patel, and Sumil Siraj from Standard Bank SBG. This category looks at domestic economic analysis. And the finalists are those are the finalists. And the winner is Alna Mulman from Standard Bank SBG Securities. Congratulations to the team at Standard Bank SBG. We're now going to be looking at economic analysis, international, and the finalists are so those are the finalists for this category, and the winner is Mary Curtis, Andrew Massier, and Rajiv Sibal from RMB Morgan Stanley. For the next category, this one is investment strategy. And the finalists are and the winner is Mary Curtis from RMB Morgan Stanley. Let's look at the next category, and this one is political analysis. The finalists are those are the finalists, and the winner is Simon Fremantle from Standard Bank SBG. Congratulations to Simon. This one looks at quantitative analysis. The finalists are those are the finalists, and the winner is Josiah Rudolph from Anchor Stockbrokers. This category is risk management, and the finalists are so those are the finalists on your screen, and the winner is Amelin Flint, Florence Chukuringe, and Luke Van Skyke from Perisec. The next category is technical analysis, and the finalists are and the winner in this category is Costa Badikes from Lifika Securities. The next category is environmental, social, and governance. And the finalists are those are the finalists in this category. And the winner is Wasim Tokan and Mbongeni Mtimkulu from Perisec. Congratulations. congratulations to the team from Perisec. And now we're moving to credit analysis, and the finalists are and the winner in this category is Kate Rushton from Rand Merchant Bank. This category looks at derivatives. The finalists are so those are the finalists in the derivatives category. And the winner is Amelin Flint, Florence Chikurunge, and Luke Van Skyke from Perisec. So the next category looks at fixed interest securities. The finalists are so those are the finalists. And the winner is Mike Keenan, Nicholas Garamont, and Sia Nonkonela from ABSA CIB. Congratulations to the winners so far. So we have just about 8 awards left, and this one, perhaps we can call it the creme de la creme of our top analysts. And I was going to be looking for more assistants, or rather more people to pick on, but I'm going to try and find one more assistant, and that person is going to be Sean, if you can join us on stage. So now I'm going to have 3. I know it's going to be a very busy stage, but we want to share in this moment with you. Okay, so we're now going to be moving into the next category, and this one is looking at the small black broker firm. The finalists are so those are the finalists for the small black broker firm, and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Anchor Stockbrokers. So we're now going to move on to the top firms, and in this one, it's about administration efficiency. The finalists are so those are the finalists. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Standard Bank SBG Securities. at the end of the awards is actually sit down with some of the individual desks, because I'm trying to figure out who's in charge of going to get the awards and who's going to be in charge of carrying the awards at the end, and who gets to draw the short straw, because I find that there's some people hiding at the back. Let's see, there we go. There's some faces popping out through. So I want to see how this goes throughout the night, but I'm keen to understand how this thing plays out, especially when we've got people arriving in to support the finalists. So let's move on to corporate access. And the finalists are so the finalists for this category, the names are there, and the winner is Standard Bank SBG Securities. Let's see if we see a different face. There we go. The next category is top firms when it comes to execution derivatives. And the finalists are so those are the finalists. And the winner is Parasec. The next one is execution when it comes to equities, and the finalists are so those are the finalists, and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Standard Bank SBG Securities. Straw, you had to go. Okay, this night's getting exciting. So we're now going into this category, which is execution, fixed interest securities, and the finalists are so those are the finalists. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Rand Merchant Bank. This one looks at top sales teams. The finalists are so those are the finalists, and the winner in this category for top sales team is Standard Bank SBG Securities. Okay, so this award is particularly exciting. This one is overall research firms. And the finalists are those are the finalists. And the winner is Standard Bank SBG Securities. Congratulations to Standard Bank SBG Securities. And because I've been keeping an eye on you, I do know that many of you who've collected the awards have not walked out the room yet, because I did make that announcement that we need a big group photo. Good luck to the photographer who's going to try and have to fit all of these people on stage. I do not envy you. But nonetheless, thank you so much to my assistants, if I can call them that, Valdine, Tato, and Sean, for handing out the awards, and of course sticking around for the picture moment. So thank you so much. And we are now going to be getting to the end. Oh, they were looking at me with such the nervous look that, are we having more awards? We are getting to the end of the program, so thank you so much for joining me on stage. Yes. Congratulations to all the winners, and as I mentioned, that the digital copy of the Financial Mail ranking the analysts will be emailed to you after the announcement today, and of course the supplement will be available on Thursday, that is the 11th of July. Thank you once again to our sponsors, and of course that is IRESS as well as the JSE for their partnership with the Financial Mail Top Analyst Awards for 2024. We've now come to the end of the award ceremony, and congratulations once again to all the winners. And I'm going to make that announcement. Please join us on stage, that is the winners, for that picture moment. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for being with us in the room. Please stick around for drinks, to congratulate some of those of you who know the winners and your fellow peers. And thanks to those of you who are watching us online, and those of you who could not make it, congratulations once again. We will try and make sure that those awards get to you. Thank you so much, and good night.